Welcome back to another clay tutorial. Today we're going to create the final smash of Mr. Game & Watch from Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. When I made my Mr. Game & Watch figure, I used a printout stencil, so basically I would just print out this octopus that's on the screen and cut it out and use that as a stencil to make the perfect shape for the figure. But we're not able to do that on this one because my printer is out of ink, so we're gonna have to freehand draw this, but I knew that wasn't gonna happen because I am not good at drawing. I've tried to draw this out and it did not look good. So this light table method works out really well. They used to use this method with a lot of old animation, I think before tablets kind of became the normal way of drawing animations. So here we have our octopus and we can cut this out. Here we go. And now I wanted to use this also as a stencil for the painting, which in thought was a very good idea, but it turned out to really not work. You'll see that later on in the video. So I wanted to cut out all of these parts that were going to be painted white, and I thought that would make my life so much easier, but it turns out it just kind of made a big mess. But it gave us a good starting point on where to freehand paint. Here we're going to flatten down our black clay. Now, if you're unfamiliar with this octopus, or Mr. Game & Watch, or even a Final Smash in general, this is basically the special attack you can use after getting a special item called the Smash Ball. And Mr. Game & Watch will turn into this octopus. This goes back all the way to the original Mr. Game & Watch handhelds, and one of those games was the octopus. So if you're unfamiliar with this, I will leave a link in the description. You can see all of the old Mr. Game & Watch games. Not by me, but I'll find a different video of somebody. Now we can make this little hole because I want the octopus to be floating as it is in the game, so we'll put a wire in there later. Now we can flatten down some more black clay and make the base. I just wanted to go for a simple circle, sort of like the amiibo bases. And now Mr. Game & Watch is ready to get baked. So now after baking, we can get these off of the tray and we'll start doing our painting. So we need a sort of very light gray color. It's just a little bit darker than white, and I tried to match this to my Mr. Game & Watch figure because I think that was a really nice match to the actual color. So this looks pretty nice. We'll use this to paint. So here's what I was saying about using this also as a stencil to paint. This part by the eye here ripped, so I kind of had to just guess where that would go. Now, as we take this off, you'll see that this really didn't work very well. Now, it worked for the eyes and the mouth pretty good. We just need a little bit of fixing, but all of those little dots and, well, I'm not sure if those are supposed to be like the suction cups. Those didn't work out well, so we're just going to take this wipe and just remove them entirely, and we'll have to freehand paint them, which was pretty terrifying. I am not an artist when it comes to painting. I'm good at sculpting, but that's about it when it comes to art. So I thought the best way to do this would be a toothpick. I only have that one paintbrush I was using, and it's very big. There's a lot of bristles on it, so doing something this fine really wouldn't have worked out. And I'm actually sort of impressed with how it turned out. I think it looks really nice. We have these lines where the segments of his legs separate there. They can actually get longer and shorter, but I just went for this most typical look. Now we drill the hole in the base here. We can secure it with some glue. Now the hole in the actual octopus I made way too small, so I'm using this same drill bit to make it a little bit bigger. I was really hoping I wouldn't crack it at this point. Luckily I didn't. So now, to make it sort of blend in, we can paint the wire black instead of silver. And we can glue him onto the base. And it wasn't very sturdy, but I added some more super glue into it. So here it is, guys, the final smash of Mr. Game & Watch. hope you all enjoyed this video. If you want to see the creation of my other Mr. Game & Watch figure, you can check it out up here. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you all in the next one.